What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Shane Mcguigan. Shane Mcguigan gives his prediction on Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury, and he says he thinks it's going to be a terrible fight. He says that fight will be terrible because both guys, as savvy as they are, will try to outthink each other. None of them are very big punchers. Tyson Fury will spend half the time trying to hold him and wrestle him, and he won't have a lot of pop on his punches, but based on his style, and size, he will bludgeon Oleksandr Usyk to a points victory, but he thinks it will be a terrible fight. Let me counterpunch. I don't know if that will be the case. It could be, okay, because that's the same shit that Eddie Hearn said, but Eddie Hearn is, possibly biased because he just whooped his golden goose twice, Anthony Joshua, so we don't know. However, will this fight be a good fight? It could go down as a situation where Tyson will try to hold, and I think the mechanics of that fight and the stipulations would have everything to do with the referee and what the referee allows to happen, okay? The referee is responsible of the flow of the fight, what happens in the fight, what he allows in the fight. And I think if Tyson Fury tries to, hold a lot like that, I think he should be warned. I think, if anything, it reminds me of the worst fights that I ever saw was between Felix Trinidad and Hector Macho Camacho, okay? And Hector Camacho held so much to the point he got a point deducted, and it was just so shitty because Hector did not want to engage in anything. He wanted to pot shot and then come up under Felix Trinidad and hold. And Trinidad was so fucking irritated to the point he was trying to hit Hector Camacho when Hector Camacho would hold. I mean, Hector did that all the time. He had the worst habit in the world. And Tyson Fury uses it, though, but he uses roughhouse tactics and dirty tactics because when he holds you, he'll also hold you and hit you. And it's up to the referee to see and to point out what Tyson Fury does. And because if he starts doing that shit and the referee allows it, I don't know how Oleksandr Usyk will adjust to it. But one thing about Oleksandr Usyk, though, speaking of him, he's able to adjust to a lot of shitty situations. He was in there with Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora fought him the same way, but Derek Chisora is not as big as Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, towers over people and he grabs them and he throws these uppercuts and you know what I mean? And he puts you in the headlock and stuff like that. He'll lean on you, that type of shit. But like Oleksandr Usyk, I think he's able to, he doesn't like to be held like that. And I don't really think that will be a factor anyway in that fight. I think at times Tyson will attempt to. I do. I think Tyson will attempt to grab Oleksandr Usyk. I think he will attempt to rough him up, to show him who's boss, to show him who's the bigger guy. You know what I mean? But then Usyk is a kind of guy that doesn't like to be restrained, okay? And I think he's going to see that because once Tyson tries that shit, he'll be either shoved off by Oleksandr Usyk or he will be, Usyk will snatch his way out or use his footwork to duck or avoid those clinches, okay? That's all they are, just clinches. Let me get close enough to this guy, put some hands on this guy and then grab this guy and perhaps score a couple more shots, by holding and hitting. That's what Shane is talking about. But I hope it's not a dirty and murky fight because it's just really pissing on a fight before it even starts. And speaking of the fight, who the hell says that fight's going to happen anyway? Because Tyson Fury is taking on guys and the WBC is allowing him to fight and do whatever he wants. So why would he fight Oleksandr Usyk in the first place? But But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Shane Mcguigan and his take on Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. That's if they fight. The fight will be terrible. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!